so good at extending their advantages, so good at closing out games. If you get ahead, it may just be over.
Yeah, just some slight tweaks in how they like to get ahead. TSM just go crazy. Immortals, you know, play a little bit further back every now and then. But definitely the result is the same. 2 quick games, and our third one here as we'll get into the draft for our final game between these two teams. Looks like Twisted Fate banned away once again from Pro Belter as TSM back on the blue side. Zyra and Nidalee going to join them as Ryze and Azir and Vlad, 3 mid lane bans from Immortals.
So the only change from game 1, now that they are back on their initial sides, is that Vladimir gets added in, Swain gets taken out, and TSM will take the Rek'Sai, which I think is smart because Reignover just looks so ridiculously good every time he plays it. It's such a comfort champion for him. I think it's his best.
Yeah, and we've seen the Rek'Sai Graves matchup 2 games now. Let's see if we get it again, but Victor Karma right now for Immortals, real safe to start things off. Pro Belter, huge game on Victor as well. Those ultis, man.
Swain is available. They are hovering. It's certainly a possibility for top lane or mid lane. It's a great flex pick. But based on what we've seen so far, Lucian has been pretty highly prioritized by TSM. You know, in both games, Double obviously loves to get on this champion, loves to get aggressive and try to carry these games. Would not be super surprised to see that coming out here once again.
Yep, seems like he does favor that champion, so they're going to highlight it. Wonder if Spin, I guess he's not going Kindred because they already have Rek'Sai, so never mind. Kindred maybe continuing to drop through drafts. Swain, Lucian though, are the picks here for TSM. So Aurelia up, Haunter says, I do not want it. And there's Olaf. So Reignover not going to Graves this time, might be going to the Olaf, while Total Blue once again on the Ashe.
I like it. I think that he's more at home on these sorts of champions. It's something that's also pretty neat because no one else really plays Olaf in competitive jungling, and he's been playing it forever. He's very comfortable on the champion, and it's hard to get practice against a champion like this that only one guy plays.
We saw Meteos play it yesterday, but that's pretty much it. Reignover
True.
certainly always going to Olaf whenever he can, especially in this matchup. Jungle matchup's been a big deciding factor in the early games, though, as there is Zilean and Bard. We're done. TSM's draft finished. Bjork's
Wow.
back on a utility champion.
This is going to be interesting because that means it is the top lane Swain. We'll see how that matchup is going to go, because if it starts to tilt one way or the other, it can be pretty scary. You know, we saw in the Liquid series when Lorlo was able to get really ahead of Darshan against CLG on Aurelia. He absolutely smashed the Swain, picking up a solo kill after they got the first gank. So it's definitely something where Haunter is going to have to play very carefully, very safe. You want to try to wear down your opponent, and Aurelia is going to be looking to just pop you out.
Yep, the new Echo in some ways, it almost feels like Aurelia. Good one even, teleporting in, pretty good one ahead. If you ever get to Snowball. And that sounds like a perfect Huni champion.
Oh, yeah.
Unsurprisingly, 6 straight now for the man on the champion since 6-11 is hit.
Unsurprisingly, he
They keep
picks
giving
it.
it to
A
him.
little bit surprising that he keeps getting it. You know, he's so good at it. He's been really comfortable on the champion, and he's going to keep playing it until someone takes it away or until someone bans it, but that hasn't been the case. And to speak about the bot lanes, Turtle and Adrian going to be back in there on the Karma and the Ashe, respectively, and we will have the Bard, Lucian bot lane for TSM. So Lucian, once again, for Double Lift, loves the champion, and we've seen just how good Biofrost is at the Bard. He's definitely great aggressively on these sorts of champions, and they're going to look to try to bully lane.
Well, you've got one more chance to tell us your predictions for this particular match. Update those votes by using the hashtag TSMWin or the hashtag IMTWin. Be curious to see what the vote was like before. Vocal fans on both sides, as the hype is real here in the Battle Arena. Game number 3. I wouldn't have it any other way for these two teams. We split the first 2, played for less than an hour. Let's see what happens here in our final one here. TSM versus Immortals for one final time this weekend.
So as the players do spread out once again, nothing too crazy just happening yet. Going to be that line of scrimmage, and we did see the super early first blood last game onto Immortals, but they ended up winning. Definitely don't want to give up anything too crazy like that. But in the top lane, Haunter are pretty far up.
Yep.
Ghost being popped.
Reignover going in for it. Axe 1 lands as the slow. Huni goes in, Blade Surge. Axe again lands. Flash out from Haunter. Has to play it safe.
Really good stuff there by Reignover. He commits immediately to the Ghost, knowing that the Ghost is a lower cooldown than the Flash. It's a fair trade for him, especially if they do end up in those 1v1 matchups. Who's now going to have a nice advantage. And also, Reignover loves going early Lucidity on that Olaf, so he's going to be able to get that cooldown back even faster once he picks that up. It's one of the advantages of the Ghost. You can commit to it more easily.
Yep, pretty much. Whenever you can, you generally use it, I believe is the Ghost philosophy.
And here we go. Immortals is actually calling that TSM is going to lane swap. We'll see if Double Lift and Biofrost are kind of moving up there, but their bottom lane has already moved up top, and we have Reignover and Huni going to be starting the double jungle in the bot lane, and I think that, honestly, Immortals is probably hoping to avoid this.
Yep, Q lands, they do find some. Adrian knows there's a couple people in there. He counts his gold in as exactly how many, but Biofrost and Double Lift actually just going to walk down to bottom lane, I think.
So I guess they did not want the 2v2, feeling that, the karma is going to give the edge there, and it is going to mean that Huni is not going to be able to kind of free farm on his own. He's not going to be able to get that big lead in a 1v1 or anything like that, at least not just yet.
Well, so nothing out of the ordinary apart from that. Bjergsen and Pobelter will face off again, though. And definitely curious to see how this one works out. Bjergsen sort of splitting the difference, I guess, on mid lane matchups.
I'm excited to see how Bjergsen is going to play this one out. He's definitely very strong on Zilean, and although it is an enabler, it can have some pretty strong team fighting. If you can land those double bombs, they can be hugely impactful.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some pretty awesome Zilean comps already in the NALCS. See what Bjergsen can do here, making Double Lift and Haunter very difficult to lock down. Right now, though, it's just wave clear city. Everyone wants to get their farm. Good bombs, though, onto Pobelter. As looks like we are going to continue our standard lane swap here. 3v0 right now for TSM. Same there from Immortals on the top lane, so this tower's going to drop pretty quickly. Turtle even taking damage to make sure the wave stays off. And again, all standard stuff at this point.
Definitely.
Good to see the teams practice.
Yeah. I think we'll probably see them swap over and then go for that trade, but we have to remember what happened last time where teams are actually prioritizing. Oh, that's going to be close.
I was watching it, I was like, that is a really aggro-castic creep. Laying down the hurt onto Turtle.
Oh.
Share the gold, though. He'll use.
Blown, yeah.
Okay. Let's go and get his stuff taken away as well. Feels bad, man. So he can lose the blue buff.
So we do have to remember it is Infernal Dragon, and the amount of emphasis that was put on this, in game one, we did see that teams were actually just like calling off of the turret trade and moving down for this. So will we see that adaptation again here? Remains to be seen, but I'm excited to see just how much priority they're going to place on this Infernal Dragon.
And right now, seems that we're actually just going to swap back to uneven standard lanes. So Haunts are going to have a real long lane to try and farm, whereas that'll be the disadvantage lane for Immortals. As Turtle and Adrian return there. Haunts are gone through a ward, so they know the lane assignments now. Spence Garrett is trying to make sure he takes that jungle, but this is not your safe side anymore. Going to try and take this Grump down.
It is not, but it seems like he has gone undetected. He has the Wolf Spirit to spot out when Olaf does enter that side of the jungle, so he should be fine. And this team is going to be pushing away here. Double is taking, ooh,
yeah,
this is half his health just entering the lane.
Early Frostbang there from Adrian. Good stun there from Pobelter on the double bombs. Gives Bjergsen some CS standing in the caster creeps, but probably not a huge deal. So Spence here though, teleport in. There's the long lane, magical journey in. Gonna look for the stun, but top lane play happening as well. Haunts are locked down. Gonna try and make it work out, but the damage is too much. First blood goes to the Olaf, and Adrian got away.
Yeah, that is so bad for TSM. They call the play on the TP. Not only does it get interrupted on Haunter, they get first blood. Adrian gets out. Pobelter survives in the mid lane. Everything is coming up aces for Immortals.
Well, TSM's mid laner at least, Bjergsen looking good. Actually pushes Pobelter off the lane. Does not have TP, but just going to walk back after upgrading that Hex core. Bjergsen's probably going to push this wave and go back home as Wild Turtle swoops in to defend some CS. But we talked about it. It's such a dangerous lane for Haunter to be in. He is down 3 to 28 CS and 2 levels. I've seen this one before.
Oh, God.
Not a good time.
It's like, how did this happen? Why me?
Well, pressure's still here. Reignover makes that gank in top lane. Looks easy. Haunter finally going to collect some juicy XP and CS, but things looking bad here early on for the Swain, and we saw the matchup. Pirelli can get ahead. She usually stays ahead.
Certainly, and going for the aggressive early buy is Huni. Grabs himself a Sheen, and what else would you expect from this guy? He loves to fight. He loves to go for that explosive kind of style, and Sheen is really, really good for that. It does make your trades very, very powerful. Sells with that, and the Sheen power spike is massive. Even just once you have level 4, level 5, you can actually all-in people. You don't really need your ult.
Yeah, little sad to not see Sheen Stinger for that Trinity Force, which is the ultra-aggressive build, but Huni Kind of splitting the difference a bit there with the Ruby Crystal. Double Doran's though for Haunter is a bad time. So he navigates the rest of that top lane, particularly if Rainover with those speedy boots does get himself into that top half of the map. Other than that though, like Doublelift has a lead in CS. Pobelta's caught up nicely after backing. And things looking good in pretty much every lane except for the top side.
Yeah, a lot of CS is going to be picked up here by Turtle, so he has a lot of farm to get. And we can see Rainover kind of hovering around on the bot side of this map, and TSM will have to be careful about that, especially because the Infernal Drake is there. We have to remember Haunter also doesn't have his TP because it got interrupted. Huni does. It should give Immortals the advantage and the confidence to try to go for this early dragon.
Nice trade again there from Bjergsen. Pobelta continuing to take damage here from the Zillion. But looks like no one's going straight for the Drake just yet. In fact, Immortals moving in towards the bottom side. Adrian just here for coverage as Rainover going to go ahead and donate that blue there to the Victor. And Svenskeren looking for a play topside here. He is pretty deep behind this turret.
Very deep, but 4 TSM members pushing up here. We'll see if Svenskeren can actually stop the back. I don't think he's going to go for it. Huni's already going to be out of there. Should be just fine.
They saw him, I think. Good hook shot from Wild Turtle. And now TSM actually opted into the turret trade. Adrian, though, level 3. Looking awfully vulnerable, but Svenskeren can't really see anyone else. Bjergsen, I think, did get vision of Rain over there.
Yeah, Immortals should know what's going on because they saw Bjergsen roaming up, but here comes Svenskeren.
It's Sven going in for it. Magical journey in. Bifrost looking for the stun. Gets the money onto Adrian, but Sven going to get aggressed on by Rainover. Pops the ulti. Can't be disabled by the Never move. And now TSM just have to turn tail and run. Sven awfully low. Eats an axe. Rainover moving in for it. Pobelta goes for the flash ulti. Damage is down. Bifrost is dead. Haunter now forced to run as that's almost 2 there for Immortals. Svenskeren is somehow still alive.
He's probably going to go down here, though. Just use his E. I don't know if he's going to be able to escape.
Knockup's good, but the axe is better. Pobelta finishes him off with a death ray.
Big plays there. Pobelter makes the roaming once again. Immortals comes up huge in the ensuing team fight. They collapse, they sniff it out, and they are able to take a really big team fight win.
What? TSM doing trying to defend this. Haunter getting low, but they might be able to fight it out. Double lift gets 1. Can he make it 2? Huni. Now the next target, the culling is down. That is the double in there. Double lift gonna go crazy. The 1v3 solo gets himself the triple.
I guess that's what they're doing. Pick up a triple on your Lucian, and double lift comes up huge, keeping TSM right in there.
Very nice players. Bjergsen back in towards the mid lane. Pobelta in a bit of trouble. Bomb's good. Bifrost here. He's only level 3. But no stun means no dice there on that kill. Ignite was ready, so that was definitely a dangerous situation for Pobelta, despite having to heal up.
Yeah, and here we go. And this is an overextension from Immortals. You can see Rainover is actually just dying to the Rift Herald. He's so low already, has no mana. Huni is very low as well. Adrian is now tapped after that shield. Basically, they're all out of resources. They overextend, try to pick it up on top of the teamfight win, and they get punished for it so big. That is massive for Doublelift, who, you know, before that was having a pretty quiet game. Now a triple kill, and it's looking kind of reminiscent of game 1 where he was able to go big for TSM. We'll see if he can snowball this into a bigger lead.
Yep, nice assist from Haunter, but hard work there done by Doublelift as Immortals continue to play a bit of a macro game here and try and shove down this turret. Might as well, because kind of free gold here, and Haunter continuing to get denied relatively well here. They are going to move into defense. Haunter actually gets the Never move, damaging onto Huni. Svenskeren commits, gets the knock up. But Olive coming down. It's not a safe place for TSM to be just yet.
No, not at all.
Help's on the way, though.
They are going to try to push for this turret, but the bot lane is coming, and this is a very strong double lift. Immortals will have to be careful, but their mid laner is here.
Oh, arrow lands in onto Bifrost. Rainover goes in, gets the first kill, but the rest of them are around. Huni going to get caught in by the Never move. Now going to take the damage in from Bjergsen, who's Sven picks up the kill onto the Aurelia. 1 for 1 so far. Pobelta, though, with the ulti doing damage. Turtle going to get chased down the culling. Straight into the face. Zillion ulti saves his life. And now Bjergsen going to keep looking for them here. Needs a stun. Bomb flash by Adrian as Rainover now maybe the target. Slow in there. Slow from Bjergsen after the flash. Never move in. Lands good. Rainover getting low. Gets taken out by double for the 4th.
So hard to escape from Bjergsen on this Zillion. He has the slows. He has the speed ups. The TSM crowd is getting involved as they sense the comeback. 4 kills and an assist for Doublelift early on. Up 20 CS again. And that is becoming a big problem.
11 minutes in, and the gold is pretty much even. Wouldn't have it any other way for our final gamers. Let's watch this again.
You know, it was a great start to this whole exchange as they're able to pick up Biofrost right off the bat. Ghost pop, rain over right in there, but Huni gets caught by the never move, didn't go out the same way as his team. He goes down for free, and this is where Immortals really needs to back out. You have to respect the speed ups, you have to respect the Zillion ult, and now double it, perfectly timed ult onto him from Bjergsen. And they got to get out of there. They're still hanging around. Bjergsen's able to slow down Rain over eventually here. That leads to yet another kill. Good job by him, and just kind of greedy from Immortals on the overstay. They needed to take their kill and get out of there once Huni went down.
Well, they get the turret at the end of it, so I guess they'll make the trade. Immortals now up in gold, but the Ghostblade finish for Lucian.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, double lift is the real problem.
When your Ashe is just on a Caulfields and the Lucian has a Ghostblade, oof. Get out of there.
Well, yeah, they do. Get away from the Infernal Drake area. That was the attempt there.
Also, really problematic. Look at the top lane levels now. Huni was really ahead. He's down 2 levels. They have given away that advantage by moving around the map, and Huni has been rotating constantly while Haunter's just been sucking up solo.
Yeah, he's down in CS as well. Haunter managed to play catch up nicely as Pobelter does get the blue buff. Spen in to try and steal it, but just puts a ward down instead. Does not see the pink there. But it's going to be a dragon attempt now for TSM. Huni does not have TP right now. Haunter already made his way down, so this should be Drake TSM. Infernal once again, looking like a little bit more like game 1. Magical Journey, Tempered Fate, in for Wild Turtle.
Oh, close. The Mantra Shield just getting him out of there, but Immortals knows they could not fight. Their ADC is too weak right now. Double lift massively ahead, and Huni was down a couple levels without TP, so they're just going to put him back in the top lane, try to get that catch up, but it's got to feel bad for Immortals, who committed a lot. You know, Raver spent a lot of his time to trying to get Huni ahead, and it was kind of just gifted back right to Hanser.
Yep. Well, again, in an even game, Double Lift is really the one that holds the lion's share of TSM gold. Immortals probably going to still be looking to Huni to try and get ahead and carry it up. But like you mentioned, very tricky right now for him to apply a lot of pressure. We'll see if things change in the next 5 to 10 minutes. TSM, though, with that first Drake, feeling good. See what they go to next, as Immortals do hold a turret lead, so map not particularly open right now. Team's probably going to be playing back for the next few minutes as they farm up to the next items. In fact, Bjergsen probably needs to go shopping. Does hit the recall button. I imagine the Rod of Ages is now completed.
Very likely has that. Pobelter, though, has been a bright spot for Immortals. He is quite a bit ahead gold-wise in the mid lane, up about 1,000 on Bjergsen, so doing very well for himself. Those early 2 kills helping to kind of catapult him forward, and he's going to be critical for Immortals because not only can he do single target burst, he has a lot of AoE, and that's really big against the Zillion. You don't want to just hit one target and then have him get ulted back up. You want to be chunking everyone out, make it hard for the Zillion.
Ooh, TSM push for that turret. They sort of had everyone in the area, but Immortals move in to defend, and TSM, I think, not confident in the vision they had to try and take it out. So that does open up a bit more space. Immortals will hold a bit of a geographical lead there for now. Bjergsen, roll was finished. Got the cooldown boots as well, so he's feeling just fine. And we'll battle some minions for a little while longer as the mid laners trade wave clear. Everyone's again sort of relaxing. Haunter also finishing that roller. And Huni moving towards that Trinity Force, but a little behind right now. Bit of XP given over. That's my favorite Julian thing that I always forget. It's like, oh, have some XP. There you go, double lift.
It's pretty nice, especially with the solo laner. He gets a lot of XP to actually gift over, and especially when you're already ahead.
Arrow?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a 2-level advantage now for double lift.
Yeah. And I mean, he's definitely the one where TSM are pouring all their resources into. Bjergsen able to support him pretty nicely. Haunter can kind of carry, I guess, but he's definitely more of a frontliner with the Swain. 4-0-1 with a Ghostblade and Black Cleaver shortly on the way. Eggs in his basket. We'll see what double lift gets done. He's going to start things off by taking this turret, maybe. No arrow for Turtle, but too dangerous. Tether not going to commit there. Good magical journey from Biofrost. And again, team's playing very carefully. This is a rather close game.
Certainly is. TSM didn't know where everyone was. They see Adrian charging in, kind of bluffing, and they're not going to take the risk.
How would I have time? Good blade set from Huni, though. It's already been tormented, but Bjergsen's here. They're going to dive back in onto him. That's going to force the ulti out. Chrono Shift keeps him back alive, but Rainover's here in ulti. Force flash there for Huni. TSM, nice bit of pressure.
Yeah, good job. Well played by Huni, though, honestly, to get out of that situation, not give up his life. Does cost him a summoner, but they do have Turtle free farming in the top lane. That is something going for them, and it is always the opportunity cost of moving all your pieces down here to the bot lane, but you know, had Lucian not been on the way, I think Pobelter could have committed to that fight. They could have gone for a 3v3, which would have probably been good for Immortals.
Yeah, Barrowfrost's going to move in. Oh, takes a creep. Double if they're going to get the rest of them.
He's backpinging him, question marking him.
We'll be just fine for now by doing a good job roaming around. And again, we're just sort of trading back and forth for fun. Remember, these lanes are quite long, especially for TSM. Still missing a turret.
This game is so close. 100 gold separating the two teams right now. Advantages in different lanes. It's going to be a very tense moment for these two teams as the next team fights are really going to decide a lot. You know, who's really going to break this game open, because Doublelift is already very ahead. A lot is going to be on him, though, to carry these team fights. He'll probably get very aggressive with the Zillion support. He can dive in, try to take people out, but if an ult is missed time from Bjergsen, if Doublelift goes too deep, gets out of range, these are things that can really turn bad very quickly for TSM.
Yeah, double TP up for TSM. Immortals have theirs as well. Huni also with a Trinity Force, so able to apply a bit more pressure. Turrets will be evened up, though. Doublelift able to easily take that one out. That will give TSM the gold lead, but sitting at under 1,000 right now as they will go back to base. And looks like we're just waiting maybe for the next Drake spawn. There's a point of tension to look around. 120 till that's up. See if the teams fancy a contest. No double, triple Infernal this time for TSM.
No, it's gonna be Cloud, which is gonna be pretty nice still for the two teams, but not as threatening as that double, triple Infernal, like you said. Immortals doesn't feel as much pressure to challenge for it. Obviously, you do not want to give these up for free, but it's not like super game over.
No, certainly not. Bjergsen actually slows down Rainover. Again, trading some wave clear back and forth. Rainover actually just takes out a ward. Pobelter more than capable right now of clearing waves out. Firefrost with a bit of extra damage. Going for a dive. Tempered Fate finds Rainover, teleports in. TSM, I think, will disengage. They got a free cooldown.
Yeah, great job by TSM. Nice ult from Biofrost, nets them Huni's TP. Haunter still has his available, so they're going to have to be careful now, because next time TSM looks to dive, they can TP in their top lane, or Huni will not have his.
Doublelift goes over the wall instead of taking the magical journey.
Ooh, Turtle is gone.
Yeah, looking for Turtle. Ghostblade popped. Does have the arrow, but can he get out of this one? Volley out. There's for the slow. Scaron chasing him down, though. Umbaro is going to come through soon. That should be the knockup. No, he misses it barely. Gets arrow. Turtle still on the run, but Doublelift going to fire out the culling. Turtle still living. Pops the heal for now.
Keeps the lane really well.
Yeah, they're going to keep chasing, but the Chilling Smite should slow him down enough. Scaron going to chase him. He will die, but great time bought there by Turtle. Ooh, Pobelter got low. Ulti in the middle, though, as Bjergsen saves Haunter. Immortals were trying to go for a trade on the other side, but Bjergsen flashes in, gets himself exhausted. As soon as he moves in by Adrian, TSM might have enough to try and push this turret down.
I think they do, with Pobelter having to base. Immortals probably does not have enough wave clear, but it's looking like TSM wants the dragon.
Fancy that objective instead. So they'll take this down. Bjergsen's still mid lane, so he's going to pressure the wave some. Make sure he keeps tabs on Immortals as well as they try and move through, but maybe thinking they didn't have quite enough to take the turret. TSM will just take the objective, the obvious objective, and back away. Because again, this game's still so close. Under 1,000 gold between the two sides. Cloud plus Infernal Drake.
Get that
TSM.
free objective back, pick up some big items. Doublelift now has 2 completed items, and Turtle is still kind of piecing together parts of his first one. You know, this is a Black Cleaver Ghostblade Lucian, 402 up 30 CS, and we have Turtle with just a couple components who is just going to be painfully weak in these team fights, and they're trying to get Turtle time in the side lanes, trying to funnel him some CS so he can become relevant, but it has not happened so far.
Yeah, we talked about Huni maybe not having quite the same snowball style game this time around. Never mind, Scaron taking 5 from Pobelter, who is having a good game on the Victor. Bjergsen are going to try and line it up. Tempered Fate's in. Can they get the bomb combo? There's 1, there's 2. They get the double stun, but Pobelter gets the ulti out. Scaron, though, takes him out.
Such a good setup. Biofrost sets it up for Bjergsen. He nails it. Double bomb onto Pobelter. The mid laner goes down very quickly, and now this is going to be the mid lane turret for TSM. They could even go for 2. Huni has no TP. He's not even basing. Yep. Clearly has no intention of getting there in time to defend.
Yep, TSM will get the mid tower. Minions doing the work. Doublelift actually finishes that off. And now they might even push for more. Wave clear dead for 10 more seconds. TSM looking to get aggressive, perhaps. Scaron, though, going to take damage on the other end, and that'll be the end of that push for now. No, I lied. Never mind. TSM still going to knock down the turret, making me look silly.
Yeah, Pobelter is so much of their wave clear here. that when he's not there, they can just keep getting chunks on this turret. It's very low now. Next time they get to mid lane, they're going to be looking great, and you can really tell that TSM is setting the pace here in this third game. Top lane was pushing in. They're aggressive in the mid lane. They're looking for picks constantly, and they are looking so good.
Well, still a relatively close game. TSM up, certainly. 2,000 gold in the lead right now as we'll watch this fight around red buff again.
Yeah, and you can see Bjergsen speeding his way up there, and this is the ult from Biofrost. Really well timed. Both of them try to step out, but both get caught, and now the double bomb set up right onto Pobelter. No chance at all from him, as he had blown both his summoners previously in that mid lane fight. So a good pick off, but here comes Haunter.
Yeah, Haunter actually in kind of a 1v3 right now. Spenskeren going to get aggressed on by Huni, but Biofrost, no, it's actually him that's caught. Arrow from Turtle lands in on one, but it's not enough to save Aurelia.
Not at all, and it's just so hard for Immortals to take these fights against the Zillion, who did go down there, but they do not have the kind of tankiness for who needs to go deep in this fight and stay around for a long time, and Wild Turtle cannot punch through the front line. So TSM is going for the Baron, but this is risky, reminiscent of the Rift Herald that went so bad earlier for Immortals.
A little too risky perhaps. Haunter going to zone out. They're going to try and find a kill here. TP in from Bjergsen, he's back alive. Ulti good, lands on a Pobelter. There's one bomb, there's two. Going to get stunned up as soon as he comes out. Haunter now going to get ultied up, but Pobelter is going to go down to double lift. Haunter survives after the chrono shift.
Here comes Huni though, there's some low health.
Double
on
bomb from Bjergsen, they bail, but Huni actually gets out from under it with Haunter on a blade surge. Now Spenskeren taken by, but Huni bombed away, never moved in. TSM claim the counter kill.
So many flashing health bars on TSM, but very well played. They all stay alive, and they're able to pick up another couple kills. Net Huni's TP as well, and they can go straight back to baiting the Baron. It could have been huge for Immortals. They had to try, but not able to finish off those kills, and it's still 23 minutes in the game. Turtle doesn't even have an item. You have to feel if he had some completed items, had a bit more gold in his pockets, all those flashing health bars would have been kills.
Yep, and Huni is also struggling. I mean, building in towards that Frozen Mallet now that he loves so much. Got the Trinity Force already, had it for a while, but we'll watch this one again.
And here it is once again. TSM, a clear plan, immediately turning for the fight. Bjergsen already TPing in there. And another nailed ultimate from Biofrost, massive in taking out Pobelter, who is so much of this team's damage. And although Haunter goes down, he's brought right back up. Huni TP's in, and Turtle and Rainover trying to take out these low guys. But look at how little damage the Ashe is actually doing here on the side. Not able to take anyone down. Huni gets cleaned up, and Immortals are looking like they are in trouble.
Yep, TSM, I think, finally found a foothold in this game. Bjergsen going to get himself the blue buff. And with the gold lead they have, see what damage TSM can do here. This game going to go a little later than the other two. We're almost 24 minutes in. The next Drake, though, is Infernal, up in a minute 15. And TSM, they already know the damage Infernal Drake can do. They will absolutely be looking to take that one. But Baron also a thing. Didn't really go late enough to have Baron be a factor in games 1 or 2. So the map will be split now. We'll see how the teams navigate what looks to be a tough mid-game on the Immortals side.
The gold lead for Doublelift is astronomical. He's up 2,700 gold over Turtle, which is just brutal. And Turtle is really going to need to just hang around. Immortals needs to wave clear, stay safe, but it's so tough with Zillion to enable these dives and this aggressive play that TSM has been putting on. They also have full vision control on Baron.
Yep. I just love the comp that TSM have put together.
Look at all the pinks. They have 5 pinks right around the Baron. 2 by the pit. They have them in the bushes all around. All 5 members of TSM laying this down. There's no way for Immortals to get any vision on this at all. The only way is going to be face checking, which is so tough for them. Both their blue trinkets are on cooldown, and TSM will keep returning to the Baron, knowing they have all these pockets of vision. They have it all cleared out, and Immortals eventually will have to face check or simply concede it.
Yeah, and looks like a sidewave might be pushing in the bottom lane for TSM, so they've built definitely control on the side lanes as well. TSM straight onto Baron. Immortals, they will spot it with the Hawk Shot. They're not sure they can do a whole lot else here. Looks like they're going to try and commit for it. Immortals, do you have the steal in you? Ulti out, he's going to get onto Spenskeren. Rainover already popped that ultimate. TSM actually pull off the Baron. Rainover going to try and wait out the ulti, going back in. Little awkward, calling out Pobelter with a nice ultimate, and TSM have to bail.
Yeah, good ultimate from Pobelter, kind of saves that fight, honestly. As Adrian was in base, Rainover had to pop the ult early to get in there and threaten the steal. So well played by Immortals to stop them, but still, it does cost them a couple ultimates. They won't have, thankfully for them, they can at least clear a little bit of vision and hope to try to maintain some sort of control, have an idea of when TSM is going to go for it.
Well, Huni forced to enter bottom lane with no teleport. Doublelift gets himself the red buff. Drake also up as well, so maybe TSM take the quicker objective.
Infernal too, that's a big one.
Yeah, it certainly is. TSM already know the power of double
That's so
Infernal Drake.
satisfying. The last hitting from...
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Well, Huni again, getting pretty strong. Frozen had actually finished, but there's that Drake over to TSM. They'll take it almost for free after the trades around Baron. And now Baron becomes the prime objective for the next few minutes while we wait between Drake spawns.
That is the second Infernal for TSM. Now 3 Drakes to 0. That is where you do have to really start worrying about it, especially as we get to the later stages of the game. A lot of AD and AP being gifted over to TSM.
And we already talked about Doublelift. He'll be very happy for the additional AD.
Yeah.
Absolutely the flagship carry of the team right now.
Thankfully for Wild Turtle, does finally have some complete items. He's got a couple. He's in there.
It was just, wait, I'm going to get 2 at once. Now with the Essence Reaver and the Rune and Hurricane, that is a big boost in power for Total, but Doublelift's been sitting on a Vamp Scepter for a while. Doesn't have too much gold just yet, but we'll be moving into his next few items as TSM look to try and get a pick around this Baron area, because playing to the left side right now, given that Baron is up and available. We already talked about their wall control earlier. Seems like Immortals weren't quite able to clear out all the vision. And Scarin actually back in, making sure that happens. Baron gets mad. He's ran over through an axe at him, but Sven pretty tanky at this point. Doesn't mind too much.
Didn't even notice.
Man, everyone's Sven Scarin just chasing each other through the jungle. Watching Rek'Sai chase champions is so amusing to me. And look at Sven just keeping track of everyone. Does spot Pobelter there. I think so the pink ward as well. What's with the TP? Everyone's got their TPs back up as well. This is a really delicate part of the game. TSM have a lead, but it's not a particularly big one.
No, not at all. And they want to establish vision once again around Baron, get that set up, start to threaten the Baron. It looks like that is TSM's game plan. Hawkshot, obviously putting a bit of a wrench into that because Ashe can check more frequently than the others. They have double blue trinkets as well, so good adaptations from Immortals, knowing that they are going to be zoned off of this and need to maintain the information on if TSM's going for it.
Well, top lane is back to bottom side, so Haunter and Huni will square off. We'll see if Huni's able to make some traction in a potential split push. Everyone going back though. Doublelift's actually got a BF sword now, so looks like Bloodthirster as the 3rd item. Pretty annoying with a Mikhail's Crucible done for Bifrost and Zillion ulti.
I'm not really sure how this 1v1 would go, honestly, between Haunter and Huni if they do match up. Huni's not building for it, though. He has no MR, really, whatsoever. We do have the Zonias on Haunter, which would be great in that matchup. I do think that Huni might have enough sustain to actually just win an extended fight, and we may get to see that here if Haunter moves up to CS.
Well, he's going to go for the creeps.
Here we go.
They're always juicy.
Will Huni pounce?
Nope. Just birds the backside, pushes it out. And Huni immediately reveals it. Haunter's like, there he is. I knew he was there the whole time, and that wave's dead.
Huni not sure he can take that fight either, I guess. So, or he may be sure he's going to lose it. But either way, the game definitely has slowed down a lot. Immortals has really kind of band-aided a lot of the wounds that they have had. We can see another ult coming out, though.
Misses this time onto Adrian, but Rainover may be caught. Forced to pop the Ragnarok. The damage is still there, though. Doublelift absolutely shredding through the olive, but Pobelter answers with a huge ulti. Doublelift gets done by the arrow, but the Zillion ulti's on. Bifrost maybe not so lucky as the TP's in from Immortals. Nevermove locks up so many members as Huni has to turn back with his team.
Wow, what a close fight. Pobelter, Rainover barely living. Sven and Bifrost solo as well, and ooh, that was a close one. Both teams going to kind of base and lick their wounds and come right back at it. These fights so explosive. You have to play them so carefully on either side. One poor ult by Zillion could spell disaster for TSM. And at the same time, if Immortals commits too much to one target and he gets right back to life, you're going to be in trouble.
Yep. And not too much burn, surprisingly. Just the top lane is using their teleports. Flashes all up. Ultis will be back up soon. Huni playing aggressively. Threatens Bjergsen there, but just cleaning out the creeps, so nothing too crazy. Drake back up in 150. It's a Cloud Drake, but it will at least trigger the Elder Dragon spawn. And for the first time in the series, Elder Dragon may actually be a thing. Games did not go nearly long enough to have it spawn in either Game 1 or Game 2.
Yeah, a couple of 26-minute games. Yep. These teams were playing so fast, and now we are treated with this very close one in Game 3. Only 1,000 gold separating the two teams 30 minutes in.
And really speaks to how close the game is. Again, TSM still with that lead, but it's shrunk only to 1,000 gold. And at 31 minutes in, that's pretty insignificant. You mentioned it already, but really look to these teams to play around the map on those objectives. And whatever team fight occurs, execution will be paramount here between these two sides. Because at this point, there is more than enough damage. It's just going to be on that execution.
So much is going to rest on the shoulders of Doublelift. He loves that pressure. He loves comps being built around him. He is the one where almost all the gold lead has been funneled into. He has a really big advantage for his team, and thus the onus is going to be upon him to really carry these fights. Turtle now, though, is scaling up, has picked up the Executioner's Calling, trying to be helpful in taking down that Swain. And you know, Huni sitting with that Rage Pod in his inventory knows that the next team fight could be crucial.
Yeah, and it might be around the Drake spawning in 30 seconds. Wonder how much TSM care about taking the objective. Baron's still up on the map as well. Definitely a key one to look at. Ulti in, finds Turtle. Bjergsen gonna get with the double bombs. They never move combos in, but Turtle somehow flushes out of that. Now Honza gonna be the Asho and get blown up with a Zillion ulti there. Oh no, he's Zonya's. He's gonna keep fighting though. It's gonna go down now. Has to flash out because the ulti's worn off.
Goes from Rainover.
That's Garen Huni going in. Rainover popping through, but he doesn't have the ultimate anymore. Sven though, finally the only one caught out. Shut down by Pobelter.
And we talked about it, the miscommunication there. He Zonia's at the same time as the ultimate. Costly mistake as Svenskeren goes down. Now you are 32 minutes into the game. You have no jungler for 40 seconds, and Immortals are going to look to threaten the Baron.
Once very low with no TP. TSM have to do something here though, but Immortals, they know they'll force the Baron.
Yeah, they may just straight up go for it. Haunter's very low.
Ulti's back again, but Pobelter just blows people up on the backside. There's the Zillion ulti coming up, but there's the first kill onto the Karma. Haunter though, running interference in the backline, healing for so much, but not enough. Huni takes him out, but TSM, I think they thwarted the Baron attempt.
They didn't, so 1 for 1. Look at the HP on Huni, so low. A very worthwhile fight for TSM, and crucially, Bjergsen had his ultimate once again for that fight. That was massive. Haunter couldn't base, but he's gonna be able to get brought back to life. So wow, a close one for TSM. They could not afford to give up the Baron, and they pull it off.
Yep, so much CDR. Ulti already back for Bjergsen, so using it in 2 different fights that were not particularly far apart. Very impressive stuff here for the Zillion. As we'll reset again.
Yeah, 36-second cooldown on that ultimate right now.
Damn. All right, not bad.
Not bad.
You can see the strength of TSM's comp here, but Immortals playing well to almost do enough damage to take a clean Baron. Once again, they will start playing around this objective. Clouddrake's actually up. Immortals are there right now. TSM may be thinking, you know what? I can have that one. We'll take the big one when it spawns.
Yeah, not too big of a deal at this stage in the game to give up just the one dragon, but it does feel good for Immortals. They're able to take that away, and they will get a little bit more of that true damage burn from the Elder Drake if they can pick it up.
Yep, the dragon now will be the next spawn, of course. And all of a sudden, 6 minutes time, we're going to have 2 very big objectives to play around. But right now, the team's still playing around the top end, because Baron is the big objective that these two teams have been dancing around for 10 minutes or so. And every time a fight starts, it's just not quite clean enough one way or the other. The slimmest of margins will likely determine the outcome of this game.
So many key items being picked up on both sides as well. Doublelift finishes up his Bloodthirster, wants to be aggressive, wants to be in the mix of things. Makes a lot of sense. We have Mortal Reminder here for Turtle, Death Cap, Rhylize, Perfect Hex Core, all done on Pobelter. So these are some very powerful players here across the board.
Oh, ulti misses from Turtle. Pretty short cooldown though, but that's a strong engage tool from Immortals that they don't have to commit to if they don't want to. TSM maybe play around that cooldown now. Again, just constantly threatening around the Baron. TSM have started it.
Rainover is here though.
Immortals know. TSM, they have to back away. Svenskeren taking a lot of damage for this.
Will they commit?
Onto looking for someone, finds Adrian. Now Rainover have forced to pop the ultimate. Huni's in though. Biofrost gets a good temper fate. Locks down Pobelter for a little while longer. Oh no! Huni doesn't go in, and now Svenskeren's into the backlines running interference. Rainover gonna go down. TSM, an unlikely 5v3.
Yeah, Huni actually really indecisive there. He starts the TP, decides he's not sure if he wants to go through, and then he bails out of the bot lane. He's walked all the way up, so he is here, but that is costly for Immortals. We'll see what they can do.
Sven's a little low, but Huni gonna get caught. Karma speeding everybody up, but double it back into the fight. Huni slowed so long by the Rylai's of Haunter, but TSM don't have anyone in position for it, and Immortals hit the inside track on mid lane, shove that down, and Baron once again will not go down.
Such a close fight again. They're both able to barely stay alive. These two teams so evenly matched. 500 gold is your lead for TSM. Nothing at this point in the game. The 2 Infernal Dragons, though, are worth mentioning. And the fact that Haunter will have TP, while Huni will not. This allows Haunter to go bot lane, start to push this out, and we'll see what he can get done there.
Well, watch this fight again, because it was awfully close.
So close. So another great ultimate from Biofrost, and this is where they bail out. We see that TSM is actually backing up. I think Huni was scared he would just get taken out if he completed a TP, so he cancels. Unfortunately, that means Reignover goes down for free, and he had to walk up. We saw the rest. TSM did eventually have to pull off Baron.
Yep. Thankfully, enough members of Immortals alive that Baron was not a realistic objective. And that's the real thing. We keep seeing team fights. One person's going down on one side, maybe 1-for-1 as far as the trades goes. But at this point, that's not enough to safely take an objective.
It's so hard to commit to these fights. Both teams are being very safe about it. They're not sure if they can win a fully committed fight. They don't want to risk it, and they're playing very slowly, trying to make sure that they have a guaranteed win, that they get the perfect fight. And both teams are not giving it to each other.
Yep.
They're not allowing their opponents to have that perfect fight gifted to them.
Great offense and defense from both sides for the last 15 minutes of play or so. TSM, though, looking aggressive in towards the top half of the map.
Should have this turret.
Tier 2 turret. Immortals caught sleeping on the rotation. Always nice to take a free objective. And they will claim it. 4 turrets to 3 now, but again, pretty insignificant, much like the gold difference you see on your screen. It is all about these big monsters, and Elder Dragon is going to be up at some point. Will cleared out on the backside. Reignover has to face check.
Bard is so good at moving back and forth like this as well. Look at how fast these rotations are. You have Cillian speed-ups, you have the Bard tunneling you through. It's very frustrating. Oh, Biofrost Fishing doesn't land the ult.
Almost a juicy one, but now Immortals maybe feel like they can fight. Reignover going to get slowed. Bombs in, arrow misses! So Skirmishes knocks up Reignover, but the Olaf's tanky. Still got the ultimate Haunter, though, who's going to leap forward. I think he has to get out of this. Pops the Ragnarok and will run away to safety. TSM, though, gets some key cooldowns.
Such close misses. Biofrost fishing for the ultimate. Turtle fishing for his as well. And both guys come up just short. And those are key ultimates that they're not going to have.
Back to Baron. TSM, though, baiting it.
Yeah, Reignover needs to get back here quick. He knows that, and he basically didn't even wait for full health, and he's immediately running back. Huni and co, they're going to check with the Hawk Shot.
Yep, they've checked once, but now maybe a bit out of position. Adrian caught in the front side. Haunter with the Rylai's doing work. Pobelta now off to the right-hand side. That's not where you want to be. TSM will dive the front line, and Pobelta still zoned away, but this fight's very odd. TSM can't fully commit. It's too dangerous.
It's just too dangerous, exactly. Pobelter holding on to that rank 3 ultimate. If you go too far, you're going to get popped. And Huni always lurking in the side.
Big side waves as well for TSM. Constant pressure in all sides of the map here for TSM. They've done a great job kind of keeping this where it is around the Baron area. Their control's been excellent, but Immortals have been really vigilant about making sure they keep vision around it as well. So TSM, they're trying real hard to get the easiest Baron, and Immortals are making it unbelievably difficult.
No kidding, and Huni has his ultimate once again, or sorry, rather has his teleport once again here, so he can go back to the bot lane, has been constantly down there, has opened up a very big CS lead over Haunter, up in experience as well, and he is extending his gold lead, closing in on 1,500, 2K gold lead, pretty nice for himself, so especially when you consider how far he was behind a long time ago. Immortals has delayed in order to get their players to a point where they can be competitive with their opponents. It wasn't that long ago that Doublelift was almost 3 levels up on Turtle. They have evened out massively as Doublelift has been forced to play the 5-man group game, and Turtle has just been soaking up wave after wave.
All right, well, Elder Dragon has now spawned onto Summoner's Rift for the first time in this series. Bjerg's going to TP in early just to speed his way in for a potential fight here. TSM now playing around the even bigger objective.
Yeah, Bjergsen not messing around, does not want to show up late to a fight, knows his ultimate is needed.
Well, ulti out, Biofrost tags Pobelta.
Got Pobelta.
Arrows in, there's the PP from Huni, but Pobelta forced to flash. Huni coming into the fight now, straight into it. Sven Skaren getting chunked out in the front lines, but the damage is there. Biofrost taking damage, even Doublelift gets the first kill for it. Ulti's going to keep them alive, and now Sven Skaren's back! But Pobelta blows up Doublelift. TSM needs to capitalize. Wild Turtle does go down, but a double gravity field on is enough for Pobola to keep moving through.
Triple knock
up there for Sven. Rainover getting low, but not dead. The bomb is going to tag him. Will he die? No! Rainover lives and Bio dies to Pobelta. Immortals turn that around somehow.
Pobelter was massive in that fight for Immortals, stays alive, perfect positioning, pumping out damage the whole time. Incredible performance by the Immortals mid laner. That was crucial.
Bjergsen ulted Sven. I don't know about that one. We'll have to watch it again, but TSM cannot find the fight. Pobelta holds his ground and destroys them.
Let's watch again. A lot happened in this fight. Huni ready with that TP. Immortals gets jumped on, and in he comes. They go on to Senscarin. Senscarin takes focus down. They elect to use the ultimate onto him. Some nice knockouts from that, but now as Doublelift dashes forward, he wants to go aggressive. Too far forward from Doublelift. He gets punished. At the same time, Turtle drops as well, and now it is a 3v4 for Immortals. But Pobelter is massive, and the Baron is being taken.
Yeah, Immortals got it. It's okay, but Bjergsen gets a kill onto Adrian as we pop back into live. Rainover now getting chased, cannot be disabled though, at least for a little while longer. Haunter gonna keep on him. Huni now here as well, very cute. Surf onto the Raptor, but Rainover, oh, the slows. There's a lot of them. TSM, I think they found a catch. Rainover,
here goes Pobelter,
very tanky though, but Pobelter looking to blow people up. Bjergsen with another kill! Tapping Fade onto two. Huni diving back in, but the damage is massive. TSM turn things around. Immortals. They get the Baron, but it costs them a lot.
Disaster for Immortals, and this could actually be a lot that they're going to lose here. Look at those res timers, 50 seconds on Turtle, 50 seconds on Pobelter. A big wave here for TSM, and they are going to look to push.
Key decision point for TSM. They've chosen to push the top half of the map. They had a bunch of other things they could have done. I guess Baron's down because Immortals took it. So they'll look to push instead. Elder Dragon still sitting back there as well, but TSM will break. Get themselves an inhibitor here on the top half.
It's still 30 seconds.
They want it.
Look to end.
All right, TSM. Let's see if they can close this series out. Nexus Star at 1. Huni trying to defend, but he gets caught up by Nevermove. No, he just misses. Got knocked up by Sven, but TSM still rocking through. Adrian and Huni, can you make a miracle happen? Doublelift cutting around the Nexus. Huni trying to take him out. Cillian ulti there. And
That's
TSM, they'll take this series.
Immortals will take the Baron, but TSM will take the game and the series. 2-1 victory for them. They drop a game, but they do not drop a series, and they sit alone at the top of the standings.
Perfect record finally blemished, but still undefeated as far as the season is concerned. Immortals, one hell of a fight, particularly in that final game. We expected it to be close. That was about as close as we could have made that final game.
Incredible stuff, and oh my God, that was tense for so long. The two teams so evenly matched, unable to actually, break the stalemate for like 20 minutes, and then finally TSM pulls the trigger. Bifrost nails the ultimate. Everything goes right for them, and they clean up.
Yep. It was, again, the slimmest of margins this game was won on. Pobelta, what a heartbreaking game for the talented mid laner. So close to carrying the last few fights, but Doublelift on the Lucian. Only one death to blemish an otherwise wonderful record, and he made it count. Immortals, heads low for now, but they'll bounce back. And TSM showing that maybe, hey, we're only 2 weeks in. But right now, looking like the best team in North America.
They certainly are looking like the best team in North America. They want to be able to prove that they are. They want to be able to go further. It's not just about the regular season. It's about, continuously improving as a team, as a unit, and looking forward to those bigger goals.
Well, whatever's going on with Bifrost joining the team seems to be working for TSM, because that was quite the game. But Immortals, like we said, they made it close. No shame to lose a game like that. What a series between the two sides here. And again, it was really one or two team fights towards the end. That game could have gone any way.
Bifrost honestly was massive for the